TD Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Ziman, your State Farm Insurance agent in DeKalb. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DeKalb. Like a good neighbor, Scott Ziman and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. Don't forget Kids Eat for Free on Thursday. For delivery or pickup, go to pizzavilla.com or call 815-758-8116. Elder Care Services of DeKalb. Safe, secure, and supported, helping you stay in home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdekalb.org. My Insurance Guy in Sycamore covers Medicare to auto care and everything in between. Stop by at 204 South Main Street in Sycamore. Call 815-899-0950 or online at myinsuranceguy.com. And welcome into TD Ryan Unleashed News Podcast number 44. As always, the oak tree of the news department with us, Dan Lynch. Dan, how you doing, my friend?
Summertime. It's almost summertime.
All right,
life is good.
I was afraid you were going to sing "Summertime." Don't do that.
And the living is easy. Sam Cooke.
See, I smelt that coming there as well. We want to thank our friends at the Junction Eating Place for allowing us to bring the Junction Eating Place again. They're serving homemade scratch meals in DeKalb with warm coffee and hospitality in the heart of downtown DeKalb. Signature touches like potbelly stove and a model train running while you eat. Check them out, 816 West Lincoln Highway, and check out Takis to Go, the catering service, 758-5441. They have all kinds of great catering services 24/7. Again, at 816 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. And joining us from the DeKalb County History Center, I told somebody we're going to have Katie Drum on the show, and they said, well, you can't beat that. Hey, that's a Katie Drum joke. I bet you heard a lot of drum jokes like that, Katie.
I sure do. Hello.
I like to think of you as the symbol of the DeKalb County History Center, but tell us about what's going on over there. First of all, welcome. Let me tell you who Katie is. Katie is a marketing communications and development professional with more than a decade experience in supporting nonprofits and public sector organizations throughout strategic storytelling, fundraising, and community engagement. And as the marketing development director of the DeKalb County History Center, she is passionate about connecting people to local history and strengthening community investment in preserving it. And Katie, I'm glad they mentioned the storytelling because I think that's the best way to tell history, isn't it? Just through stories.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what it is. Our past is that is our story. You know, it belongs to all of us here, DeKalb County and beyond. So, yeah, I'm really excited to be here. And I'm a local yokel. I grew up in Sycamore, basically lived in DeKalb County over 30 years now, which is pretty wild.
Yeah. All right, we're going to talk to you some more. I want to talk about the museum and all the great stuff going on.
Yeah, I'd love to tell you all about it.
As we honor our 250th anniversary. But first, Dan, what do you got for news, my friend?
DeKalb is among several northern Illinois communities getting state tourism money, grant funding. The Illinois Department of Commerce and Econ Opportunity announced nearly $5 million being dished out to over 60 entities by way of 3 programs in order to aid attractions, marketing, and private sector events. So the Egyptian Theater getting $100K through the Tourism Attractions Grant Program for a marketing campaign. You know, for print and radio.
Right, sure.
The TD podcast, all that stuff.
That's the big money there.
So state officials say the funding is intended to support local events, attractions, and marketing efforts.
Now, Katie, you getting any of that over there at the DeKalb County History Center?
Doing any marketing or getting any of the money?
That money? I know, because I know grant writing is an art form in itself. And obviously, with a nonprofit, you're constantly looking for sources of revenue, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The DeKalb County History Center is a nonprofit, and we heavily rely on local grant opportunities, statewide, nationwide, you name it. We're not part of that grant, but we did recently get a $15,000 grant from the Art Council in Illinois.
Okay, and you've come a long way. You know, I remember back when you guys were at the Sycamore History Museum.
Yes.
Back in the day. And it's amazing how far you've come. And, of course, the beautiful campus that you have now.
Yeah.
And something I didn't know is that you're producing food on that campus, right? Tell us about that. You're actually producing food and then donating it back to the food pantry.
Yeah, that's right. So we moved to our current location, which is formerly Working Farm, which was Ang Farm. And so this the historic site does grow about 1,500 pounds of produce for local food pantries. And we work with the local master gardeners to do that, as well as Blooming Gardens. They help us with that as well. And it's an amazing partnership. So, yeah, we grow a lot of food and herbs on site, and then we ship it off to the Salvation Army food pantry.
How great is that?
Yeah.
Boy. And I see you're going to be hosting the Sycamore Farmers Market. Is that right? Coming up on June 2nd?
Yeah. So, that's the interesting thing. We're more than just a history center and exhibit space. We are planning a wonderful corn crib expansion where we've converted our corn crib into an outdoor venue and classroom, and the campus has been totally refreshed and renovated. And we're going to be hosting about 30 vendors this summer. So we're the new hosts of the Sycamore Farmers Market.
Very good.
Yeah, we're really excited. It's going to be opening on June 2nd. So it's going to be Tuesdays, 3 to 6 p.m.
Dan used to live in a corn crib back in the day. Doesn't like to talk about those times when he was trying. But
I do know what that is.
You did shuck corn, did you not, sir, back in the day?
Well, I detasseled.
Oh, detasseled, okay.
Yeah. And
Is that different from shucking?
Well, I think shucking is when you're cooking it on a July night.
Oh, and you
You're going to boil it.
Okay.
Yes.
You were
When
detasseling.
you pull the
We'll see, I'm a city boy. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
It's
very
It's
good.
like you're cross-pollinating it, right? Is that?
That's correct. Because
Yes.
you get the male
Yeah.
and female rows.
Yep.
All right. But this is not a...
I got $3.35 an hour.
Wow. All right, what you got there, my friend?
DeKalb Township officials are seeking candidates to fill a vacancy for township clerk after the elected official, I think it's Joan Pertano, announced plans to move.
See, I thought it was Mary Hess. At
No,
first.
I know. Joan Pertano's a neighbor of mine. Yeah, very nice.
Oh,
lady,
okay.
yeah.
The board will take a hard look at some applications to appoint a candidate to serve out the remainder of the term, which is roughly 3 years. Applicants must be registered voters and have lived in DeKalb Township for at least a year. The clerk is responsible for maintaining township records and administering oaths. If you're interested, submit a letter by May 1st. Additional info is available through their website.
I was actually offered that gig. This doesn't quite fit my modus operandi, as they say. We cut into my Andy Griffith rerun watching time, so I don't want to mess around with it.
Whoa,
But,
I would have taken that.
I know it's a great gig. You still can. You should check that out. It's
No, I can't administer an oath.
Now, Katie, I saw you worked for the DeKalb Park District for a while as well. I'm working for the DeKalb Park District right now.
I know.
Tell us
I
about your
know.
time at the Park District.
Oh, I had a great time. I was with the Park District for almost 6 years prior to working at the History Center. And I had formerly worked in Parks and Recreation for the past 11 years. But yeah, it's always an honor working within my own community that I live in. So
I don't think people in DeKalb realize just how much the DeKalb Park District does in terms of just the number of parks that we have here in DeKalb.
Oh yeah, so it has. They have over 700 acres that they maintain.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah, and 19 playgrounds. So yeah, it's bigger than you think.
I know. It wasn't until I started working there that I
Yeah.
found that out, too. And, of course, I work at the beautiful Heish building, too. And, of course, we're building a pool right now.
Mhm.
Right now, July is the target date, sometime in July. But hopefully get that open before the summer's over. That'd be great.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. All right, Dan, what else you got, my friend?
So, an Ottawa man is accused of arson stemming from a house fire in DeKalb. Happened 5 years ago, but they just
Slow hands of justice.
now, yeah. According to arrest documents, fire crews were called to a home on West Taylor, 500 block, April 2021. At the time, the male living in the home said that he was watching a movie when he heard a pop and a fluid gushing. 53-year-old Jeff Neben told authorities that he was siphoning gas from a generator to a gas can, but it was adjacent to the furnace.
Oh, no.
The gas
Good idea.
was, anyway, he says when the furnace kicked on, that's when it all happened. But investigators claim the furnace thermostat was turned off, therefore it wasn't on. So he said. But he admitted later to police that, they also found 3 points of origin of a fire in the
Okay.
structure.
Wow. Talk
He
about-
admitted to police that he's fallen on hard financial times with mortgage and utilities, but he's now charged with arson.
Is that right? Boy, and I'm sure they have ways to prove that, whether it was actually, it sounds like just
Yikes.
a missed series of events, but you don't know. That
Yeah.
to lighten things up, my wife, of course, lived on a farm with they had 10 kids in her family, and they used to have church kids come over all the time. And her parents, they had a little red light in the kitchen. This was an old farmhouse, actually 1870, how old this house is. But there was a little light in the basement that would tell you that the lights were on in the basement. But so this little red light would come on, and the father, my wife's dad, said, "Oh yeah, when that little light comes on," he told this guy from the church that means that the furnace is getting too hot, and you have to go down and turn it down. It's like, okay, so he tells him that, and then they keep talking, and the red light comes on, and he keeps talking to his dad, and he the red light's on. He started to freak out, and so the father told him, it means the lights are on. Doesn't mean that the furnace is about to
If they ever read a book about him, Father of 10,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that
was
will be
a-
interesting to read.
Yes, with 2 bathrooms. The part that always kills me, they had 2 bathrooms and all, with 10 kids. They
Oh,
still,
wow.
I don't know how they pulled that
That's
one
rough.
out. So drinking on the streets, City Council, DeKalb City Council proposes entertainment district for downtown DeKalb. On Monday, the City Council discussed proposal entertainment district downtown, allowing patrons to carry beverages from one place to another to increase activity in the evening hours. If the proposal is passed, bars and restaurants would have the opportunity to join the district and would be marked as a sign indicating their investment or their involvement. Patrons would register with their IDs at the first business where they received alcohol. Then they would receive a paper wristband. That's the part that sounds a little scary because I remember when the drinking age was 19, it was 19 for beer and wine and 21 for hard booze. So we go to these bars and they'd stamp your wrist that you'd only drink wine and beer and immediately be in the bathroom wiping off that mark on there and ordering the beverages. But I'm not saying this won't work here, though. Patrons, again, will register. The wristband will allow them to drink up until 9:30. This will allow patrons to carry alcoholic beverages from one place to another without constantly being carted. And Katie, you were looking at a little map that you had there. It's basically pretty much downtown DeKalb, right? We're talking about here.
Yeah, it just says I'm a local resident, so I was curious myself, and yeah, it's looking like it's from Locust Street to just down to the railroad tracks.
Uh-huh.
So mostly just all the downtown businesses.
Yeah, so get more people downtown.
Yeah.
Why not? You know?
in the summertime, it's nice. I mean, I'm not comparing it to Wrigleyville, but I went to
No.
a Cub game last year. Hadn't been in a long time, and boy, you could walk around with a pop. and
Can you really?
it
Yeah.
was-
I think
It
a
was
lot of
awesome.
communities are moving in that direction. I've heard. So
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
of course, the Cubs bought all those buildings.
Yeah.
Right, right.
But I was walking down. I mean, I had left Illinois for at least 10 years, and I went to a restaurant on 3rd Street in Geneva, which is where the Little Traveler is. To you.
Right, I know where that is.
Yeah.
That was lovely. I mean, it was.
The wife and I mean,
It was really nice.
and everyone's eating ice cream, and I mean, it'd be nice to have a little version of that.
Yeah, I know, because I talked to powers that be, and we don't want to be another St. Charles or a Batavia, right? We want to be our own thing, but we can borrow some stuff from them, right? Still maintain our own identity.
Absolutely.
Same in Sycamore as well.
Adapt it, DeKalb style.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, in the summer,
Summer evenings here are really nice.
So living is easy, right?
Yeah.
yeah, it's warm.
You know, in the desert, it gets cold in the summer.
So, Katie, I compare my guests to onions, Katie, and we are not that you're stinky.
Oh, good.
But we're peeling
Goodness.
back the various layers of Katie Drum here, and we're finding out that she worked at the J.F. Glidden Homestead Historical Center and Elwood House Museum. You collaborated with them. But here's the part I found interesting: international perspective, having an internal publishing department at the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, UK,
Yes.
through the Northern Illinois Study Abroad program. Tell us about that. What was life like in the UK?
Oh, I loved it. Oh my goodness. So I went to NIU.
Were you in the queue for the loo?
Yes. I certainly was. I went to NIU, so I took advantage of their study abroad program, and so they connected me with the National Maritime Museum. That was my first experience working for
Oh, wow.
for a museum. So even though I work for the History Center now, so that was not my first experience. And so I got to work in the publishing department and help authors pick out photographs from anywhere from the turn of the century to modern times to use in the books that they publish there.
So what kind of photos? What kind of pictures?
So I worked on this book called The Captain's Table, and it was all about the food that was eaten on cruise ships.
Really?
Yeah. So
on cruise ships,
Yeah,
not-
think like Titanic even.
Yeah.
Like going that far back. So I got to look at old microfiche and go through warehouses and go look at all the old clippings. And this is way, way before the internet, or not the internet, but having everything digitized.
Yeah.
So I had to physically look
Wow.
at microfiche and pick out pictures to share with the authors. And that was young Katie at 21. So that was many, many, many years ago.
What a cool thing to learn about. Do you know, like, the Titanic? I mean, I'm sure dinner was formal and everything, but do you know that they have, like, a breakfast nook in the morning or a little had to
Yeah.
feed the passengers, right?
Yeah, and there was different menus for what class.
Oh,
you
yeah.
were in,
Okay.
so-
Different levels. Yeah.
Yeah. So, they had a lot of very interesting things on their menu too. Some things that you would certainly eat today. Other things were like, what? Ew. But yeah, it's really interesting to how food connects us across time. And actually, at the History Center, we just closed our.
I was going to say, you just closed the food exhibit,
Yeah,
right?
just closed the food exhibit, and we're getting ready for our next one on that's opening on May 30th.
See, I'm all over it there. Yes. Oh, no, that's Arts in Action is coming up there.
Yeah, that's our partnership with the Elwood House Museum because we partner with them a lot. We have our We the People of DeKalb County exhibit.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but it's the 250th anniversary of the
We
United
heard.
States. Did you hear about that?
It's an
Yeah.
old country.
Yeah.
Well, wait, I don't want to interrupt you though, but tell us how you were received in the UK because I've never been. Dan, you've been to UK or not?
Oh.
I've been to Ireland, but
Okay, but not.
my British cousins. who
Okay. Oh, yeah,
visit
British.
here
That's what I thought.
often,
Okay.
They love it here.
Yeah. And how were you received there, Katie?
So fun fact, my maiden name is Middleton. So I went by Kate in college. So I was
Kate
Kate Middleton. So everyone called me Princess.
I bet you got dinner reservations.
Yeah.
Did some people find that offensive? It's
No,
your
I
name,
think
but
they thought it was fun,
Okay.
and they wondered if I knew who she was, and I was like, "Yeah, of course I do."
and of course it wasn't as volatile at times as you were over there. at
No,
the
no,
time.
this is back in 2004, and so everyone was very welcoming and kind. And
Okay.
I had a wonderful experience, and it's really, one of that experience is what motivated me to want to continue doing museum work.
Did you pick
later.
up a bit of accent while you were there?
Oh, I did it. No, I didn't. I always find that interesting when people do that. It's
I know.
like, what happened to you? I think some more people are like susceptible to that than others.
Uh-huh.
So, because
Politicians.
I know people who move to the South that are from the Midwest and then they get an accent. So I guess it just sort of depends on who you are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know because I always said from the Midwest there's no accent, but Chicago, you just say Chicago, people know
Yeah.
that you're from the
I think
Midwest.
people did know I was from Chicago.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I know where you're from.
All right, we're going to talk to you some more about the museum. What else you got for news, Dan?
Have you been to England?
No, that's one of the places I do want to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to go
That's beautiful.
next week. Local state rep Jeff Keicher says his bill, which examines rising college and university tuition costs, his bill is designed to address the sustainability of these costs going forward for Illinois public universities. He says costs are surging and enrollment is declining. He says our best and brightest are heading out of state too for more competitive and affordable college education tuition rates. He adds that since 2009, enrollment has dropped roughly 29%, which is a loss of more than 106,000 kids. And he says that the state of Illinois has been throwing money at the problem without taking a hard look at ways to address this cause. His bill would examine how state universities use tax money and would help guide a 10-year plan for restructuring higher education funding.
Accountability. I like that. That's a good thing. Yeah, now we had a story last week about now how juniors now can register just based on the grade point average, can register, apply for colleges. And I guess NIU has 2,000 more applications than they had the year before. So apparently it's working. How many of those will actually go to that university? But you went to NIU. Was it tough for you to get in, or was it what was it like then?
I wouldn't say it was tough to get in. I was an art student, so there is a portfolio review process that
Oh,
you have to
really?
go through. So yeah, so that part is more challenging.
So you got to put up your portfolio, and it's make or
Yeah.
break whether you're going to get it or not.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, that's correct.
Wow.
I think they want to make sure you're serious
Right.
about it.
Uh-huh.
So and it's when you go to art school, the critiques can be pretty intense. So
I
they want to
bet.
make sure that you're ready for that experience. But it's a great way to learn. I learned so much while I was at NEU.
I was a journalism minor, and they used to write these newspaper articles, and the
yeah.
professor would take in this red marker, and he just put lines through it.
I took a lot of
Rewrite
journalism
this
too.
and
I
rewrite
understand.
that. Well, what a cool thing to study. That's neat. That's too. And of course, we just had our friends from Artifacts. I don't know if you know Elisa from Artifacts in downtown DeKalb.
Oh
At
yes.
the art store there, and she's going to do the little walkway there by the Van Buren Plaza. She's going to put the little lights up there.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Really neat. Yeah.
Okay.
Talked about that. All right, what else you got there, my friend?
Just one more. The U.S. Treasury Department's Office of the Comptroller of the Currency has released notice of a pending order to preempt the Illinois Interchange-Fee Prohibition Act. Let me start that one off, JD.
Because I was going to say, what?
New law going into effect in Illinois, and they were going to tax the banks and financial institutions on this swiping fee.
Oh, yes. Well, that's what these ads we're seeing about? Okay.
Yeah, well, the federales are saying,
Are nixing that for now.
Okay.
And so Rob Carr is with the Illinois Retail Merchants Association. He says the announcement by the feds prioritizes the bottom line of banks and credit card companies over meaningful relief for business and consumers.
All right.
So the state of Illinois wanted to curtail that because when you ever have, my wife scolds me when I use my debit or credit at a small business because it costs them.
Costs them money, yeah.
The fees.
But you go to a restaurant, they say if you pay cash, it's 3% cheaper than if you use your credit card.
Yeah, some businesses
I don't know if that's just restaurants or,
impose
yeah.
extra, but
Just to make it more confusing for us, you know? Oh my gosh, come on. Well, phones, I had a flip phone. I was perfectly happy with it. My wife talked me into buying, getting an updated phone. But very interesting. NIU is doing some research studying the effects of short-term media on students' attention and emotion. The research study affects short-form media on young adults, specifically their attention and emotions, is being conducted by student participation at NIU. The study is called Multimodal Assessment of Arousal, Attention, and Emotion in Young Adults Exposed to Short-Form Digital Media. Who comes up with that stuff?
Wow.
A multimodal assessment of arousal, attention, and emotion in young adults exposed to short-form digital media. Well, I see now there's several states that have banned cell phones in schools. And what do you think about that? I think it's a great idea. So,
Well, yeah, and I can tell you as a marketing professional, yeah, I mean, you can see it when we have video content that's shared through our social media, it really does drop off after 15 seconds, 30 seconds.
Really?
So everyone's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. And so, yeah, you literally have about 3 seconds to capture people's attention or they're going to swipe through. And I mean, surely that's doing something to our brains.
it's got to be, too. It's amazing, too.
So,
and just how
yeah.
quickly you'll click on something. And it's just so short, but then... it's why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Now, Dan, I know you limit your kids with the phones, right? How old do they have to be? Do your kids have a phone yet?
My oldest, 14, has a flip phone.
Okay. So what was his argument to get that? Did he have to persuade you to make that happen?
no, because I really shelter him from the culture. But my wife and I, we're hypocrites. I mean, we're doom scrolling all the time.
What do you call it?
It's
Doom
like-
scrolling?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the term?
Yes.
Where you're just like, I'm watching all these videos
Right.
and
Not looking for anything specifically.
I'm
just-
on Twitter and I'm reading all this stuff, rabbit hole after rabbit hole. That doesn't affect me. That I should be changing the faucet in the master bath that I've been putting off for a month. But
Yeah.
I'm just vegging after work and
Yeah.
you do that?
Oh, I do. I'm good.
And an hour
about you,
probably
Katie?
passes and you
Oh,
don't
and the
realize
time.
that you've done it, right?
Right.
Yeah, and
Time
I burn the food. And I mean, are you guilty of this, Katie? Or-
I am, I try to be mindful of that just because I do it for part of my
Right. You-
career.
professionally, yes.
So I try to limit it in my personal life so that I have good mental health. So,
Well, hopefully this study will help.
yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, it would be great if they would just not have it in school. At least those would be
Yeah.
down hours, where they couldn't,
Yeah.
use it.
Well, we're big advocates for research at the History Center, so I commend NIU for any type of like interesting research projects that
Yeah.
they do because they really do a lot of amazing things over there.
Yeah, we're talking with Katie from the DeKalb County History Center. Now, I see you have here Dr. Ada Chang, if I'm saying that right, a powerful storyteller and solo performer. That she's coming April 23rd. She'll be at the First Congregational Church at 615 North First Street in DeKalb. The trouble with my hair, coloring, cutting, and coming into who I am. So tell us about that. Women's hair I find fascinating. If I was going to go into business now, I'd go into women's hair because it seems like it's just obsessed with the hair. But tell us what her Dr. Ada is all about, please.
Yeah, so the program that we're doing with Dr. Ada Chang, so yeah, she's a performer and a storyteller, and this particular program is all about her identity, and so she tells that through the story of how her hair is transformed and with her stylists, and
I should point out she's an Asian woman with some bright red hair. The
yeah,
picture
she's
we
really
got.
cool hair.
Yeah.
So the whole project actually benefits the Legacy Wall, which is a traveling interactive exhibit that we're trying to get in collaboration with the library and the DeKalb County Mental Health Board to come be here at the DeKalb Public Library. And it supports LGBTQ plus communities with just the history of that community, but then also programming that would go along with it. So this program coming up on April 23rd, those proceeds help support that program.
Okay. And how did you find Dr. Ada? Where did you know her from before? Or
So she's actually done programming with the History Center
Okay.
in the past, as well as some other local organizations. And so, she just seemed like a perfect fit for us to have her be in support of that program. So, we hope people come out. It's next Thursday, April 23rd.
April 23rd, okay.
At 7 p.m. That's coming up quick. We have a lot of programs that we do in collaboration with the Elwood House Museum. And
Well, it's great to see him bring it all brought. You know, there's a group called Love Inc. I don't know if you know Love Inc., but they brought all the churches together. All the churches that give clothing and food away. And let's bring all our assets together.
I love that.
And do it that way. So it's a great way to have the guys all with the museum. Like you guys have absorbed. I shouldn't say absorbed, but you like the Lee and Rollo Museum, all these smaller museums. You guys help get them on the map, right?
Yeah. We represent, even though we represent the DeKalb County records, we help be a resource and support all our local small historical societies and small museums like Waterman, Hinckley, you name it. So all of our small, because there's 19 townships here in DeKalb County. So a lot of them have small museums in their communities, and so we help support them and do cross programming with them as well. And so there's a lot of hidden gems in the county if you're not familiar with it. So really neat stuff. They have a lot of interesting collections too. Each place is unique.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. That's it. The Resource Magazine, the guy collect the old ag stuff that he's got.
Yeah.
Just amazing stuff that he has. And I want to acknowledge Andy Sullivan, of course, Sheriff Andy Sullivan. He's been a guest numerous times here on our podcast. Just a great gentleman. He's being honored by the Kishwaukee College. Kishwaukee College named him the Distinguished Alumni. And, of course, many have known Andy as the sheriff, too. But he went to school there and he studied criminal justice, went back, got his criminal justice degree. He was a canine handler at one point, and then, of course, a patrol lieutenant, chief deputy, and then ultimately named sheriff after Roger Scott retired. As I said, he had a criminal justice degree in 2011. He also received a criminal justice and leadership degree in 2015 and public management graduate study certificate in 2017. And my point is that Andy sees the value of constantly learning, going back to school even when you're in your 30s and 40s. And have you done that, Katie? I look at some of these classes for adults. I want to go back and so many things I'd like to learn, like Spanish, but I failed in high school. Want to give that another shot, but it's great that we have to keep learning, though, right?
Oh yeah, I hope we are all lifelong learners. I think that's incredibly important to keep growing, expanding. I don't know. Personally, I'm just curious about everything. So, if there's an opportunity to learn more, if there's a class, a workshop, a panel I can be a part of, I think it's good to take advantage of those.
Now,
things.
Dan, I read something the other day that men tend to read more biographies. Do you lean towards biography? I do myself. Or what do you like to read?
I do like sports biographies.
Okay.
As far as hardcore literature,
Well, we had the girl with the spelling bee. We had the spelling bee champion from Sandwich. She's won the regional championship twice. She was reading John Steinbeck, and what was the other one? I forget. At age 8, mom had introduced her to the classics at a young age.
Steinbeck, yeah, but like Tolstoy and Dostoevsky, that's just I can't read a 900-page book.
But do you read fiction? I do read a lot of James Patterson. A lot of fluff stuff.
that I have not done fiction.
Okay.
I have not.
Katie, you dabble in the fiction at all? Or do you have time?
I don't have as much time as I'd like, but I love biographies, but I also love fiction too. I think there's a lot of great works out there. So yeah, I don't know. There's so many fantasy, sci-fi.
Right.
There's so many cool stories. Like you could go be on the moon and.
Well, let's talk
your
about a cool
mind.
story, and that is the play that goes wrong. It's going on right now with the Stagecoach Players Theater. Let's take a look at the community calendar. Brought to you by Stagecoach Players Theater. Go to stagecoachplayers.com or you can call over 758-1940. The play that goes wrong, it's going on this weekend at the Stagecoach Players Theater. You can call over for tickets, 758-1940, 758-1940. I want to thank Tim Ball and the gang over there for giving us tickets to our listeners, so we hope you guys go and enjoy the show. But again, it's great to have that local theater. Ever do any theater at all? Any theater at all yourself?
Ooh, I did choir.
Okay.
That's about as close as I got to being on the stage.
And Dan, I think we learned you were not a thespian as well, or were you? Did you thespian at all?
No, I was in the choir at church for like 4 years
All right.
ago, and I'm an accomplished parody songwriter in my head
Oh,
that I serenade my wife and kids with.
Oh, you should publish those. I'd like to hear that.
But you are, aren't you? You're an actor.
Yeah.
I dabbled. I dabbled. a
You
little
went to
bit.
Second City.
I took. I was going to do improv.
I
and
didn't know that.
I realized how difficult improv is, and I didn't have the concept when I was taking the class. I was trying to be funny, like a jokester, and I realized with improv, you got to go with whatever the scene is. You got to go with that,
Yeah.
and don't always try to be the funny guy. Sometimes you got to,
Love that. We should bring an improv
That would be
group around here somewhere. That would
I
be
know there's
fun.
one in St. Charles, but I don't
Okay.
know why we can't have one here in DeKalb. That's a great point.
Well, with our corn crib expansion, we're gonna have this outdoor stage that could be used for something like that.
Yeah.
That
right.
could be something.
let's
so if
put
I
on the
say-
show.
I'm gonna plant that seed out
Yeah.
there. Whoever's listening, start an improv group.
If I say, hey, Katie, watch out for that bucket of paint, she can respond any way she wants other than there is no bucket of paint.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, and I try to make some stupid paint joke.
You could pretend to trip over the bucket or spill it or say it's
See,
full
we're
of
improving.
full
We're
of
improving
something.
already. Things to do in DeKalb County. Community Expo and Job Fair is going on. That's going to come up here on Saturday, April 18th. The family-friendly event is free and will feature vendors and local businesses. You go to sycamore-chamber.com for more information. Are you involved with that, Kate? You guys going to be there?
We're not going to be there. We don't have any job opportunities coming
Oh,
up,
that's great.
but we did just participate in the volunteer fair because we need a lot of volunteers. At the
And how did that
History
go?
Center.
It's such a great idea, but these times now, I know people really, their time is valuable. Did you get a good turnout for the volunteer fair?
It was fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah, we filled our whole sheet of volunteer interest contacts, and we already made connection with the DeKalb High School football team. They're joining us next week for a special volunteer day.
Oh, great.
And then we also connected with the NIU Garden Club. They're going to be helping us on site, and then just a bunch of interested individuals just want to come do a variety of volunteer opportunities at the History Center. It's
Outstanding.
really great.
That's great.
Yeah.
The Girl Band, that's GURL Band, will pay tribute to women of the 70s, 80s, and 90s of their iconic music. The concert 7:30 Saturday at the Sandwich Opera House. Go to sandwichoperahouse.org for tickets. And goat yoga is something I always want to do with the Blue Sky Farms here in DeKalb. Enjoy a 30-minute yoga session next to a baby goat, followed by 15 minutes of playtime. The sessions are at 1 o'clock and 2:15 on Saturday at the DeKalb Library. Also for ages 12 and up, classes are limited to the first 25 participants. Go to dkpl.org. Now, the only thing I'd be worried about is what animals tend to do when they do. I don't
Bring a
want
towel.
a goat on top of me, with that happening. But you ever do any goat yoga? You ever dabble in that? Any goat
No, but-
yoga?
No, but goats are entertaining.
Yeah.
You're kidding. That's a joke. It's a goat joke.
I think they will try and ram you or buck you a little bit.
Uh-huh.
They're fun. I mean, they have character.
There you go.
They like to climb things.
Yes.
So I feel like if you
Right.
were doing the downward dog, they might try to just go up you like a ramp, and so that could be a lot
Right?
of fun.
Yeah. They play King of the Mountain.
Yes.
And, of course, the DeKalb Library has events going on all for the first 6 months of the year here. And, of course, all relating to our 250th anniversary. Got some fun things coming up here. Family Fun Science Keen into Electricity. That's going to be on the 25th at 10 o'clock for families and children. And Nellie Bly Around the World in 72 Days. That'll be on the 29th at 6 o'clock for people of all ages. Now, Nellie Bly was a newspaper reporter, right? And actually did it in 70, instead of 80 days, around the world in 80 days. Did it in 72 days. You know that?
Yeah, you gave my kids that book.
Oh, that's right. That's why I know that. Okay.
That's
So history's so much fun, isn't it? I mean,
I
you
didn't know
find it-
about this.
did you know that?
I
See,
didn't
they're
know
not-
about this.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I love learning new things.
And that ties into your 250th. What's going on at the DeKalb History Center with the 250th anniversary?
Yeah, so we got that special exhibit, We the People of DeKalb County, that opens on May 30th from noon to 3. We're going to have a big grand opening celebration. Also, our corn crib also has its grand opening that same day, same time. But we're really excited. It's going to be up for 2 years, and it tells the story of DeKalb County all the way from 1776 all the way to 2026 and how DeKalb County has evolved, where it's industry, in the Industrial Revolution, agriculture, how we
So
were
national stuff, but it's local as well.
yeah, through the local lens only. We're only telling the story through people that lived here in DeKalb County. So most of them are no longer with us, but there's a lot of people who are still with us too. We have a future wall as well of people who are still living.
Well, we had Katie LaRouche Haish visiting with us too from the Elwood House. And,
Oh, nice.
So this is really neat because, I mean, you could do it just on Elwood and Haish and just that story alone, right, with the barbed wire. But
Yeah, and I feel like those are the stories that people know the most in the area. So we're doing a deeper dive with a lot of sort of those lesser known stories. So I mean, yeah, I feel like we have at least 57 people featured.
Really?
And we want to continue that story too, because how do you tell the story of everyone of DeKalb County over 250 years in one
Right.
exhibit? It's hard to do. So we're going to be doing more interviews with additional people who have kind of like the change makers in the county.
Michelle told me a story, Michelle Donahoe, and what a fantastic job she's done there with the History Museum,
Mhm.
that we had during World War II, there was a prison camp outside of Sycamore, and there were German prisoners there, and they would march into town every day to eat,
Yep.
and they actually came into town for church as well. I mean,
Yep.
can you believe that actually happened there? And then my understanding was a lot of them didn't want to go back when the war was over. They wanted to stay right here in Sycamore.
I know. Yeah. I've just been working at the History Center a few months, and the stories I've been learning about, it's wild what has happened here and how it's evolved and how it's changed. And so, like, for example, like NAU used to have a zoo, and there was a bear.
Get out of here.
Hopkins Park used to have buffalo as a pet. And there used to be a house that looked like the Elwood House that was in Hopkins Park that later became a tuberculosis hospital.
Oh, my gosh.
And there used to be a cable car that went from
Wait, go back to the
Sycamore-
buffalo. There was a
Yep.
buffalo. I live right by Hopkins Park. I've never seen no buffalo. So there was a buffalo living in the park?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. So there used to be a house that looked like the Elwood House. It was called the Walnuts. And the owner had a pet buffalo. And so, yeah, a buffalo roamed in Hopkins Park once. And fun fact, if you look at the Google Earth, if you look at Hopkins Park, you can actually see the outlines of the original foundation of the house. It's kind of right by the tennis courts.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
True
fascinating.
story.
I
So,
love
yeah,
that.
if you're ever at a trivia night and someone says, were there ever buffaloes roaming in Hopkins Park? You can go, yeah. Yeah, there was.
I happen to know that for a fact. All right,
Yep.
and that's a look at the community calendar brought to you by Stagecoach Players. Cedar can go to stagecoachplayers.com. And by the way, they're having auditions coming up here May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for The Man Who Came to Dinner, Bonnie and Clyde the Musical, and Dracula audition information. So again, they're checking it out. That's going to be at the First Lutheran Church. They'll hold the auditions May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I still can't get over Bonnie and Clyde the Musical. We were joking about how that must end. There must be a dramatic ending for for a musical like that, but I don't know how that plays out. But all right, and that's a look at the community calendar. Now take a quick look at sports. Again, not a whole lot going on right now sports-wise. Of course, the high school team's just getting under baseball and softball season. But we were talking about the portal, Dan. We interviewed a high school senior here who's going to University of Illinois. But I don't mean about the no portal at all, because now kids he can go and sign up for play for University of Illinois, and then if he doesn't like it this year, he can go to Missouri or Iowa next year. So they call it the portal. And here's the reason why, because here this guy, Thomas Hammock, was going to be the football coach at NIU next year, and he took a job with the Seattle Seahawks, took the NFL job. So here's a kid who was promised to play for this coach, and now the coach is gone. So shouldn't the kid give a chance to go somewhere else? So this kid that we're talking about here, Cam Thompson, was here with DeKalb, with NIU. He had already left NIU after the 2024 season to go to Mississippi State, but he wasn't about to head anywhere else. He came back again with the portal. He had a great year in 2024. That was the high point of NIU. He had 28 catches, 391 yards, 3 touchdowns. Huskies were 8-5, and that's the year they beat Notre Dame. You remember that they beat talk about history. That's one that NIU will always have, that they beat Notre Dame. That was a tremendous year, 2024. Then things kind of went down. But again, it's an interesting thing because now with sports, kids used to play for the same university at least for 4 years, but now there's no guarantee of that. And do you like that? Do you think it's a fair thing? Dan, we talked about the portal.
Well, I think who just won the national championship? Michigan? And I guess all 5 starters are all transfers.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. The
So-
first time that they're all from another school. Yeah.
I think college sports, I'm not an expert, but it sounds to me like college sports is at a low right now.
In what sense?
Well, that you have players, there's no continuity.
No, and a poor coach, you can't coach because you don't know who's going to be on the team next year. Who's going to be
Yeah.
around the following year.
So it started with players going pro after 1 year and then jumping from high school to pro.
Right.
It
Well, now you have
stuck to
the
NBA.
The image and likeness, you know about that one? The ILN, I think it's called.
Right.
So, like, for instance, there's a punter on the Notre Dame football team. A punter, hardly a glamorous position. He gets paid $500 for a 5-minute conversation. He'll call somebody, an NIU alumnus, to I guess the wife or the husband bought it for that person. Have a 5-minute conversation. He gets $500.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a
So,
deal.
I know this is from college kids that never made any money to making that easy money like that. And that's a punter on Notre Dame. So you can imagine
I was
like the
making
quarterback.
$4 an hour when I was in college, being a waitress or something.
And what did you make past the court? $335. You said, right?
Yeah, but
What?
The guys are throwing games now.
I know.
And since they're not going to go to the NBA, but they have an impact on a college game,
Make your money now.
make your money now.
Yeah.
Make the $5,000 now. I probably would have done it.
I know. It's scary to think about
To
that.
make that kind of scratch in a game.
I know when you're living in a dorm room, eating ramen noodles, it's like. that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean, I don't follow sports like I used to. So.
Uh-huh. No, I don't have the passion. I don't. I had my whole room. I had Cubs stuff in the room, and just like and I remember when the Cubs won, when the Bears won the Super Bowl, and I had to go to work the next day. And I'm like, this hasn't changed my life at all. Here, my whole life, I thought I was dreaming of the Bears winning the Super Bowl. My life hasn't changed
You
at all.
literally-
I
And
got
you're
Same
still
day.
toiling.
I'm still toiling away. All right, let's take a look at the obits again. And I always tell people, Katie, that on the radio station, people had to pay money to get their obits on there. So we have so many wonderful people that we've lost here locally that we'd like to acknowledge them. And here are two really outstanding people. This is Alan Hyde. Alan was born in DeKalb, passed away on the 25th. He proudly served his country, United States Air Force, served in Vietnam, something he carried quite with pride throughout his life. Alan spent 32 years as a mail carrier in DeKalb, a job that allowed him to connect with so many people in the community he loved. He also was a longtime delivery driver for Pizza Villa, one of the sponsors of this program, and delivered for parts for Bumper to Bumper. Even beyond that, he was never one to sit still, working, always helping, and always staying busy. That's what we're talking about there, the key of staying busy, and that's what Alan did his whole life. His true passion was hot rods and car shows, where he found not just a hobby, but a community. Some of his happiest moments were spent with his car buddies, especially during Sunday morning gatherings at the Rise and Shine restaurant in Sycamore. These mornings were more than just coffee. They were friendship, laughter, and tradition. So just a great guy. And again, such a neat 32 years I always wanted to be a mailman. There's an episode of Seinfeld, I don't know if you know watch Seinfeld, where Newman has a chance to be transferred, but he has to get all his mail out, and Jerry volunteers to help him. And Jerry puts the mailman outfit on. And I always wanted to do that. I see it. But I don't know. Would you want to be a mailman? I think about the dogs and I think about the weather.
I think I would love it.
Yeah?
I would just listen to music and podcasts all day. I'd listen to TD Unleashed. And I think it would be fun. I would have treats for dogs and greet everybody. I think it would be fun. I guess unless it was negative 10 degrees out.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Dan, we got laid off about a year ago when I remember looking at jobs, and there were some postal jobs.
Yeah.
Did you toy with doing that at all?
I'm actually an introvert, and that's when you see a male person delivering, they're working by themselves. Yes, that would be very appealing to me in my old age. But,
Very good.
working Saturdays every Saturday.
Yeah, see, that would get a little too.
Yeah. No, not that part.
And Robert Frederick, which is probably a name that a lot of people in the community know. Robert from Sycamore. He was in class at Sycamore High School in 1956. Energy and determined quickly set him apart, a standout four-sport athlete, football, basketball, baseball, and track. He received the All-State honors in both football and basketball. He was a key player on the 1955 Illinois State Championship football team. There's a great historical note that we were state champions in 55 under Coach Pete Johnson, and his success on the field earned him an induction to the Sycamore High School Hall of Fame, as well as a football scholarship to Northwestern. He played quarterback at Northwestern, but was injured and forced to end his playing career. He adapted with character resilience, turning to coaching under Ara Parsegian. Remember Ara Parsegian?
Yeah.
Notre Dame? And Bo Schembechler on the University of Michigan. Not too bad, two people to train under. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in education and later earned his master's degree, setting the stage for a lifetime career in teaching and mentoring. Returned home to Sycamore, where he began what became a more than 3 decades of service in the school district as a teacher, coach, athletic director, and leader. In 1968, he succeeded former coach and mentor Pete Johnson as head football coach, a position he held till 1983. Under his leadership, Sycamore teams reached the Illinois State semifinals in 1976 and 1978. He was disciplined, deeply committed coach who believed in hard work, accountability, and doing things the right way. I tell you guys that I've told Dan that I lost my dad at a young age, and my coach is really my dad's. I get emotional thinking about it. And I'm sure this gentleman was a father to a lot of these kids.
Oh, absolutely.
And coaches can talk to kids differently, than your parents can. And I think that goes a long way. He earned the respect of his players, colleagues, and opponents alike. leaving a lasting impression on who crossed his path. His contributions were recognized with multiple inductions, including the Sycamore Sports Hall of Fame, cementing his place among the most accomplished figures in the community's athletic history. So there you have it. Again, Robert Frederick, a name that many people would know. But again, influenced so many. I can name, my coaches and what they meant to me, and what a wonderful thing. And then when you get these kids come back, we just interviewed Joe Ryan, the all-time winningest coach in Sycamore, and he talked about all his players coming back when he retired and how much that meant to him, that they would make an effort to come back. Have you ever come back and visited a teacher that really influenced you? I have not. I wish I would have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think, kids, I think even or young adults, just having those role models in your life and those mentors it's invaluable. And yeah, not only just teachers at Sycamore High School, but also at NIU, I've kept relationships with, and they've helped me throughout my career. And yeah, I mean, it's incredibly important, especially coming coaching sports too.
Dan, have you ever followed up with any teacher?
No, unless I bump into them at the store. But I admire coaches and teachers because they teach. And I have trouble teaching my children how to do mundane things. Tying your shoe. This is something you do. I can't really. I have to go through it. The muscle memory. I can't teach, really.
I always joke,
very challenging.
My grandkids know so much at the age of 5, and the only thing I knew at age 5 was to tie the big shoe. In kindergarten, we had the big shoe. You had to tie the big shoe, and I think we did an A or a B or a C on those big pieces of paper. But that was.
Did you do bunny ears? Did you ever do bunny ears?
Oh yeah, bunny.
I think I had a big shoe too. I remember that. Just brought a flashback.
Yeah, so you got the bunny. You do the bunny ears.
Yeah.
So you got different ways to teach them how to tie the shoe.
So you can make it fun, right?
Yeah, I called it a bow.
Okay.
But it's teaching them things that I just do second nature this is really hard for me. I mean, my wife is much better at it than I am. She listened in school.
Yeah.
I made spitwads.
Well, there's an art of teaching. I tell you, from a family of teachers, and there's a way to teach, and if we want the kids to learn, there's a way to teach. Well, let's take a look at the birthday and anniversary list brought to you by the DeKalb County History Center. Go to DeKalbCountyHistoryCenter.org, find out all the cool things that are going on. Or let's ask Katie, what did we miss? Tell us another thing we missed about what's coming up, Katie.
Oh my goodness, we have so much coming up. We've got we have our day of service, Volunteer Day, on Saturday, April 25th. So 9 to noon. We're looking for as many volunteers as possible to help us get ready for growing for all those local food pantries.
Yeah. So we're talking about farm chores there, right?
Yeah, farm chores.
Okay.
Getting us all ready for that. We've got our Farmers Market, as I mentioned earlier. We've got Give DeKalb County coming up. We've got...
It's May 1st, okay.
Yeah, that's May 7th.
Oh, May 7th, okay.
Yeah, it's May 7th this year. And then we also have lots of other programs coming up too. We're doing a big countywide celebration for the 250th anniversary on July 8th.
Okay.
Wednesday. We're actually going to be reading the Declaration of Independence at the same time across the entire nation at the same time.
Cool.
Yeah, it's all a coordinated event across the whole nation.
When is that now?
So it's Wednesday, July 8th. And so we're going to have an event. I think it's 3 to 6 p.m. And I believe it's 5 p.m. that we're going to be reading the Declaration of Independence.
Cool.
It's going to be on the courthouse lawn in Sycamore, but there's lots of other programming going on too. So more information will be coming out soon about that if you want to save the date. But that'll be our big birthday party for the U.S.
I love that. I saw a news story the other day. They called that the greatest sentence ever written. The first line of the Declaration of Independence. Greatest sentence ever written. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to argue that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they were the best of times, the worst of times. That's a pretty good one too. But that first line, Declaration, that's so cool. So who's reading it? Different people are reading it? Or
we're gonna have different people read it, and that's actually something we actually kind of put a little Easter egg in our logo for the special exhibit for We the People of DeKalb County. So a lot of times for the anniversary, you'll see 13 stars on things for the first 13 colonies of the United States. But you'll notice in ours, we always have 19 stars, and that's for the 19 townships that represent DeKalb County.
Very good.
Yeah, so it really is We the People, and that means so many different things in different communities. But yeah, we're excited. We're going to have lots of cool reenactments, programming. It's all going to be on the courthouse lawn on Wednesday, July 8th.
Okay, that's going to be great. Now, what I always read this week is, and different from the Chronicle, people get the midweek, and you guys have the this date in history. But this is one sent over by the Joiner History Room, so we want to thank our friends over there. And of course, you have the Joiner History Room over there. What anybody wants to do any local research, that's the place to go, right?
Yeah, so we help everyone come. You can do property research, So if you live in an old home, you could learn more about your house, your business, if your business location. You could learn about your genealogy. You could learn about just basically the research of just things that have happened throughout DeKalb County through obituaries, through newspaper clippings, and through other artifacts and
Cool.
collections. So that's all through the Joiner History Room.
I love it. Well, let's
Yeah.
take a look at what we got here. Sycamore School District 427 was voted to begin on April 16th, 1949. 494 voters approved, 278 disapprove. I wonder what they were disapproving. However, this was not the first Sycamore area vote of the formation of a unit district. A similar petition had been defeated in February 1949 because it did not get a majority of the rural vote. And why would you vote against the school? I don't know what, sure, there were reasons for that.
No.
The date set for celebrating the 50th anniversary of Clinton Township Library in Waterman was set for April 17, 1961. An unbelievable severe thunderstorm on the 16 blocked roads and highways, so the event was postponed for 1 week. On the afternoon of April 24th, 1961, the anniversary finally observed by the open house sponsored by the Waterman's Women Club. In spite of the terrific downpour, rain during the afternoon, the guest book shows that at least 154 people attended. And in our bicentennial year, April 19th, 1976, 22 patients arrived at Kishwaukee Hospital with injuries ranging from severed limbs to severe burns. I should have read this first. As the victims streamed into the hospital 2 or 3 at a time in private automobiles. The hospital's emergency entrance soon became the scene of a simulated disaster drill. The training scenario involved Barber Grain Company being struck by a tornado. Standby personnel were summoned at 7:09 and arrived 15 minutes. By 7:50, all patients had their injuries assessed and were sent to respective hospital departments. The drill was designed for a class emergency and medical technicians. The hospital staff members in the DeKalb Fire Department and others cooperated as well. I thought that actually happened. But
I know I was concerned for a second. I was like, oh boy, I don't remember this disaster.
You think it would have been in the papers or something. And of course, birthdays we have coming up. We have Tom and Patty Reynolds of Sycamore will celebrate their 58th anniversary on the 20th. And Rick Bianco will have a birthday on the 24th, along with Jim Steelen of DeKalb. Any birthdays, anniversaries you guys want to add for the month of April? No? I think we already had one with you, right? Don't we?
Mine's in June, so I can't. It's a little too early for that.
Okay.
Mine's in late April. TD.
Okay. All right.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yes,
We'll
and
keep noting
I
that.
want an industrial French fry cutter.
All right.
So an expensive one.
An industrial French fry cutter.
Yeah.
Mom,
Oh.
I have 4 brothers, and Mom foolishly got one of those little grease things for the fries, for the French fries. And my brothers and I.
a deep fryer?
Yeah, we abused that thing. Oh my gosh. It was bad.
But you want a cutter, not a
They
fryer.
want-
Yeah,
Cut it.
I cut them, and then I just bake them in olive oil and rosemary.
All right,
Ooh.
that's healthy. Very good. Yes.
Yeah. Or air fry. Air frying is nice.
I have not tried that.
It's good.
Air fry?
Yeah, it's healthier. It's
my wife and I
healthier too.
we're obsessed with the air fryer now.
Yeah.
Everything goes in the air fryer now.
Yeah.
An air fryer? I want to join this subculture of air fryers.
It is a subculture. Our daughter-in-law.
It's really
turned us on to
fast too. You can air fry a sweet potato in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's fast.
All right, this is not an infomercial.
Okay,
though.
I know. Nope. Just
Well,
tangents.
Katie, again, it's been a pleasure. Remind us now. So obviously, things going on with our 250th anniversary. The DeKalb County History Center takes on even more importance, especially when we want to learn our history from the local angle.
Yeah, our mission is to inspire curiosity in DeKalb County's past. And so we do that in a multitude of ways, obviously through our special exhibits. But we also teach lots of programs, low cost, free programs. We host field trips. We host summer camps. But we want more people to come on site and check out, the farmers market, check out the corn crib, we've got interpretive signs on site. You can learn about that. We have a gathering room, so you can actually rent it.
It's a beautiful room with a view of the lake there.
Yeah,
That's
the
absolutely
pond
gorgeous.
back
Yeah.
there, it's a gorgeous view. And we have that as a rental space, but we're also going to rent the corn crib stage too. So because part of the farmers market, we're going to have live music.
Yeah.
We're also going to have MVPs there doing a bar.
Okay.
We're going to have cocktails and mocktails. So we really want people to come.
Wow.
We want to make the History Center a community hub. So we want people to come check it out because I think a lot of people, even if you've lived here for a long time, you haven't actually visited.
No, you guys have really expanded. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's changed a lot in the past 6 years.
Yeah. Well, Michelle Dono and again the gang over there, and you and all the people. But most important are Volunteers, right? The volunteers that help you guys out.
Volunteers, it's National Volunteer Month. We could not do what we do without them. So Michelle Donahoe, Rob Glover, and I are the only full-time employees, and the rest is all due to our amazing volunteers. So we're always looking for more. We're incredibly grateful for each and every person.
All right, very good. We're quickly out of time. And Dan, of course, you homeschool, and the homeschoolers, what a perfect thing to be able to go over there to the History Center and learn your local history.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
homeschool groups that come. So if you haven't checked us out yet.
I think my puppets have been there, but
Oh, they have?
Okay.
it's been a few years.
All right.
But yeah.
We always
does it
give you-
rain every day in this month of April?
I guess it was the
Almost.
rainiest, I know it was the rainiest March we've had.
Or
in like the
wind.
but we always give you the last word. What do you got? What do you got for us there?
Oh, that was it. That I'm
All right.
just,
right.
I'm tired of the rains.
Nice
Right.
meeting you, Katie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
And a
great
big
to meet
thanks to
you.
our friends at the Junction Eating Place. And again, the Takis to go DeKalb Deck if you want to need some catering done. Again, Katie, again, thanks for your time today. We look forward to having you back real soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, big thanks to our sponsors. Big thanks to Michael Davis for getting down to the air, my nephew. And that's TD Ryan Unleashed News Podcast number 44.